Today we're cooking up some pulled beef sandwiches on the Char-Griller Smokin Champ. And while these chuck roasts cook, I want to walk you through how flavor gets built throughout a barbecue cook. Because honestly, great barbecue usually isn't one big thing. It's a bunch of small decisions stacking together over time. These chuck roasts were on sale at our local grocery store. So instead of doing pulled pork like we normally do, we decided to switch things up a little bit and go with some pulled beef sandwiches. Before we fire up the grill, let's dry brine these chuck roasts overnight using kosher salt. Larger cuts like this really benefit from giving that salt time to slowly work deeper into the meat. Dry brining also helps the meat hold on to moisture better during the cook, which becomes really important once you start cooking larger proteins for several hours at a time. Today we're keeping the seasoning simple. Worcestershire sauce as a binder, along with some black pepper. And one thing I always tell people is don't waste flavor opportunities when you grill. Every layer matters. The Worcestershire sauce isn't just there to hold seasoning in place. It's adding another layer of flavor to the bark while helping us build more depth throughout the cook. One thing barbecue has really taught me is that flavor usually doesn't come from one ingredient. It comes from layering small things together intentionally over time. Let's get both these chuck roasts probed with our wireless thermometer, and now it's time to get the grill ready. Since these are larger cuts of meat, we're pacing this cook from the very beginning. Today we're running an indirect setup with about 1 chimney of briquettes, along with a few hickory chunks for some additional clean smoke flavor. The goal is steady heat, not an aggressive fire. One mistake people make with larger cuts like this is using too much lit fuel too early. Then the grill runs hotter than they intended, and then the outside of the protein starts cooking faster than the inside can properly tenderize. Indirect cooking works great for something like chuck roast because it gives us convection heat while slowing the cook down just enough to let everything gradually develop over time. So you see we've got our chuck roast on the grill, and underneath we've added a drip tray to catch some of the rendered fat and juices during the cook. It's also going to make cleanup easier for us later, which never hurts. Today we're targeting a temperature of around 275 to 300 degrees at grate level. Hot enough to steadily move the cook forward, but it's still controlled enough to let the bark and smoke develop gradually. Hickory wood is going on in chunks today. I like wood chunks over wood chips because it burns longer and gives you more smoke flavor throughout the cook instead of one giant wave all at once. We're about an hour into this cook now, and you can see the temperatures are starting to dip down a little bit out of our target range. So I think now will be a good time for us to add some of the lump charcoal to the coal bed. One reason why I like using lump charcoal for adjustments like this is because it ignites quickly when added to an already established coal bed. That helps us avoid a bunch of heavy, dirty smoke. It's similar to adding a wood split to a hot firebox on an offset smoker. The stronger the existing coal bed is, the cleaner your new fuel usually burns. After a few hours, the bark is really starting to come together now. This is one of my favorite stages of barbecue because you can finally start seeing all those flavor layers developing on the outside of the meat. Let's do a little bark check, see how we're doing. This is number 2. Bark looks good. Yeah, I'm gonna switch them a little bit. The bottom one's cooking a bit faster. One thing that helped my grilling is when I began really understanding something I call the smoke absorption window. Early in the cook is usually when the meat absorbs smoke most aggressively before the bark fully sets. Now, it's true that proteins will absorb smoke throughout the entire cook, but learning to really take advantage of the smoke absorption window can really level up your barbecue. At this point, the bark is where we want it, and that smoke flavor is already built in pretty well. So wrapping starts making a lot more sense now. Doing a bark check, that looks good. Awesome, I like the color. Internal temperature looks good. Like for spin out over here. Now let's add a little beef broth into each wrap before sealing everything up. At this stage of the cook, we're shifting from smoke absorption more towards tenderness and moisture retention. Once these are wrapped, there really isn't a huge advantage to staying outside on the grill anymore. So we're going to finish these in the oven at roughly the same cooking temperature. Again, I like to think about this stage as the tenderizing phase of the cook. The bark is already there, the smoke flavor is already there. Now we just need enough time and heat to break everything down properly. Both chuck roasts are sitting at about 205 degrees Fahrenheit internal now, but temperature alone still doesn't automatically mean they're done. Tenderness matters too. When the probe starts sliding in with very little resistance, almost like warm butter, that's usually a pretty good sign the connective tissue has broken down properly. Before pulling these apart, we're gonna let them rest for a while. Resting larger cuts like this gives the meat time to relax and helps reduce moisture loss once we start shredding everything up. The bark, the smoke, the texture, the tenderness, this is where all those small decisions throughout the cook finally come together. And honestly, that's what great barbecue usually is. Not one magic ingredient or one secret trick, just understanding the cook and making intentional decisions all the way through it. And if you want a deeper breakdown of fire management, fuel control, and temperature management across multiple types of grills, check out the Grill Smarter bundle, link below. Thank you so much for watching Daddy DIY Grilling. Until next time, grill boldly, serve proudly, and enjoy the process. I want to give a big shout out to our channel members. It's because of your generous support that we're able to keep creating and sharing these grilling resources. You're a huge part of this community, and we couldn't do it without you.